You're alive.
Thank you. Welcome everyone on this, well, it seems like a Scottish night. We've brought in the weather for Doug. The rain is pouring and it's, but at least it's warm. It's not frozen yet.
It's a brow brick nick. Do you know that expression, Doug? A brow brick nick to knit?
Yeah, it's a brow brick nick, the nick.
Yeah,
I don't have the proper.
sure is.
Yeah, I can't say it properly, but it's a brow brick nick, the nick. Yeah, something like that. So
That's,
yeah.
that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
It basically means it's cold.
Yep. So I will make a second attempt at the land acknowledgements. I'd like to begin our meeting by recognizing the First Nations of the Métis and the Inuit peoples of Canada as traditional stewards and caretakers of the land. We acknowledge that Clearview Township is located within the boundaries of Treaty 18 lands of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Teonantati. There we go. Wendat, and is home of many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people as part of the intricate nationhood that reaches across Turtle Island. This time of truth and reconciliation, we welcome the opportunity to work together towards new understandings, new relationships, and ask for guidance in all we do. And we will begin with the approval of the minutes. Be it resolved that the Duntroon Hall Board hereby approve the agenda dated February 22nd, 2022. I should have said, did I say approval of agenda or minutes?
You said minutes.
Okay, approval of agenda. That's what that. Be it resolved, the Duntroon Hall Board hereby approve the agenda dated February 22nd, 2022. That's a lot of twos.
Yeah. I'll move that.
Yep. Okay, one.
Okay.
Who else is on mover?
I will.
Yeah. Excellent. Number two, at this point, if we could disclose any disqualifying interest and general nature thereof. Silence across the board. It's good. Okay, we will approve the previous minutes. Any questions regarding the minutes?
I don't think I got a copy, or was that just my,
It's in, so if you see in the agenda, it's where it says minutes, it's a hyperlink now. So if you click on that, it would bring them up.
oh, okay, my mistake.
No, I didn't see it either, so.
Yeah,
just
sorry for
figured
the
it out now.
confusion, guys. I'm just trying to make it consistent across the board, so you're getting the same sort of setup as council.
No, that's great. No, it simplifies.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, easier for you to have it uniform.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything. I mean, basically we'll be touching on a lot of the things we touched on last month. So nothing, I think, specific to the minutes that needs to be addressed, unless anyone has anything. All right. So be it resolved that the Duntroon Hall Board hereby approve the meeting minutes dated January 25th, 2022 as presented. Moved by?
Abe and seconded by Doug. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Good.
Business arising from the minutes, AODA update. I was in touch with Terry today. So Lloyd's plans went in 3 or 4 weeks ago. There's been some discussion with Burnsides, and they reviewed the plans. They think everything is good as far as within the regulations. required. So Burnsides is finalizing the report and will basically put together new cost estimates. That report he should be receiving at the end of the week, and he's bringing our report along with the other halls, their conceptual designs and the cost estimates to council on March 7th. And Burnsides will be presenting at that meeting as well. So yeah, basically that's the stages we're at. I don't know if I think Jim sort of forwarded or basically CC'd everyone on Lloyd's plans. And maybe Kayla, if you could share those, and we could just do a quick step through what he basically gave. So there's 5.
Are those the ones that you sent me tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the 5 attachment thumbnails. So yeah, in the first one, it just shows basically the layout of the hall as it pertains to the property. So just showing
That's the existing one.
yeah. And the second one just shows that what we had. The third is basically what the downstairs will transform into. Does anyone have any questions or anything they'd like explained? Or
To me, it's a very efficient plan with all the washrooms. They're all unisex. There's no men or lady waiting on one or the other. It works well.
Yeah.
And then
and I guess based on capacity limits, we require a certain amount. So that's why there is such an increase in washrooms right now. So you've got 5 of the unisex and 1 of the accessible washrooms on the downstairs.
And then upstairs, I think there's only 3. We had to get to 9.
Yeah.
And we're at 8 in existing right now. No, sorry, 9. There's 2 urinals and a men's toilet, and there's 2 in the ladies. There's 5 upstairs, and then downstairs is a urinal and a toilet in the men's, and 2. So we're still at 9 now, other than their urinals and not toilets.
Yeah.
So that to me, in the math of it, that should work out well, because a toilet is a little bit more water than a urinal, but it's still that we have 9 units, and we'll still have 9 units again.
Yeah. Any questions before
I don't know
we?
if anybody notices that at the right-hand side there, the door to the furnace room is changing. Our intention is that we'll be able to put the chairs on a cart and shove them straight in underneath the vestibule. It should be between 3 and 4 feet high in there, and you'll be able to shove a cart straight in just to clean up the main part of the downstairs hall with, if we want to put all the cloth chairs in there or the wooden chairs, one or the other.
Good.
Instead of having so much stuff piled in the corner.
So, Gordon, Dave, if I could ask a question here. So
Definitely.
when you were working with Lloyd there and such, and it looks like you've got, a plan or a design that you're all happy with, did who is it now that's going to determine what the estimated cost is going to be to do this work? Is it like when Terry comes to us to council, I assume he's going to say, okay, here's what we're going to do for Duntroon, and it's going to cost X number of dollars. Who's determining that dollar figure? Are you guys involved? Are you involved in that, or is that just Terry?
No, Burnside does that.
Burnside,
So
okay.
Burnside basically takes this plan and then basically, yeah, we'll break it down to what the cost requirements would be.
Okay,
Right. So when we went to the one meeting that the Burnside guys were there and Terry was there, Burnside's architects wanted to do it, and we kind of wanted Lloyd to do it so that we could assist in the design of how we wanted it to work and not be just done by the engineer and somebody that has never been in the building or knew anything about the building. So that's why we got Lloyd involved and we got it done. So
yeah,
yeah.
And there's also, I mean, I will see how much it comes into consideration, but Lloyd has donated his time. So
oh, good.
there is
Oh, wow.
a potential large cost savings to the township just based on that alone.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
That's
So,
very
Taylor,
generous.
Yeah. Big
Kayla,
time.
if you want to skip through 2 more slides, the next one is the existing upstairs, and then the next one should be the proposed upstairs. Yes, that's proposed upstairs. So we still have a ramp, but it starts at the each door, and it's built into the stage. It's a 16-inch high stage, so you still have the effect of the bar being on another level, and it's a stage that people can perform on. We have a back set of stairs that comes in, so if they are using it as performance, they can still enter from backstage. And then we still have the washrooms on that floor as well. And we can change the design of the bar now too if we have, like, it doesn't have to be a straight across bar all the way. You could have one door facing the east as a server window rather than going all the way across to the corner. So.
Okay. Will do. That sounds
And
good.
you can see, yeah, and basically the 2 storage rooms on the sort of wings at the north end, and then the DJ or whatever, that space becomes central, which seems to make more sense.
The
The
stairs
stairs
not the updated one.
Yeah, that's not the updated.
Right.
The stairs will be shifted over to where the stairways come, the entrance to the hall. So the stairs will come up the side there. Maybe we could, I mean, this is minute, but suggest a pocket door for that spot there too. Good. Any other questions?
Just one more from me. So
Yeah.
So the game plan is that Terry's still going to come to council on March the 7th.
Yeah.
And Birdsides will be attending. What about Lloyd Hunt? Will he be? Did you say he's going to attend that meeting as well?
I don't know. I can check with Terry and I can check with Lloyd whether he needs to be or he's available.
What time is the meeting?
Well, I don't.
Oh.
I think it's just during a regular council meeting. Maybe Kayla knows better, but I was under the impression it's just during a regular council meeting, which would be starting at 5 o'clock at night. But I haven't heard of anything of a special meeting being called yet. So
Mark Fisher's joining right now in a minute here. He's just logging in.
Yeah. Any other questions?
no.
One comment here. I can't remember looking back at this now if we talked to Lloyd about it, but even though the bar is now accessible via a ramp, which really I think for a lot of people mobility challenged is not still the friendliest thing. What about, and because we've had encounters before with people wanting to set up a second bar on the dance floor, what if one of those storage areas, I think the east one makes sense, is, has roll-up window or something like that, that it could be another serving spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think that's a major. I think that's something that we can tweak in our final design. I'm sure that when everything gets drawn up completely with working drawings, that we can adjust minor things at that time.
Mhm.
yeah. Do we have water? There's no water down there, but I guess it wouldn't be too hard to run a line from sort of the last bathroom, because the last bathroom sort of extends a little further. So along the bowling alley or whatever.
The worst part is getting the water back. Getting the pumped water there isn't bad. The drain line coming back is the problem.
I'm not thinking, I wasn't thinking water. It's
Mhm.
just a place where somebody could set up, a place to dish out beer.
Same as anybody sets up a table in the middle of anywhere and serves beer from it there.
Yeah, just that it's just not a door, basically. Anyway, minor thing, but just something we want to keep in mind moving forward.
Definitely. Good. Anything else? I mean, also Jim had sort of suggested with Lloyd that, so now there's a door. If you see the stairway in the southeast corner, there's an exit that will go outside at that.
The southwest corner?
Southeast. There's a doorway that goes outside there.
Of the existing one? We were
No.
talking about that other on the west side of the idea.
Sorry, my bad. Southwest.
Right,
Southwest.
Southwest.
Yeah.
To potentially have a way out onto the park. Other than the door and the landing is fine as an emergency, but it wouldn't be very friendly as a, if we wanted something more ceremonial for weddings or the like, was
Mhm.
the idea.
Yeah.
TBD.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. And I guess now we have to change the name to the Duntroon Hall, courtesy of Lloyd. Think he'd
What?
appreciate that.
Duntroon.
Oh,
Duntroon.
Oh, yeah, Duntroon, yeah.
Hall?
Yeah. I think Lloyd did a great job. It was
Yeah.
really good having another set of eyes on this that are removed.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Perfect. All right. So that's it for AODA. COVID update. Well, as we all know, starting, what is it, March 3rd? Basically, things are pretty much opening up full across the board. So, yeah, we'll see how, I mean, once again, sit and wait, and time will tell with that. But when we get our event booking update, that'll sort of give us a better sense of when we, what adjustments we will need to make prior to the events coming in, and if we have to make any at all.
Are we still planning on doing the St. Patrick's Day?
Oh yeah, well, we'll wait till we get Monica on, and she can update us on that. Mary, anything to report?
Well, the the big expenditure was the check for the furnace, $7,500.
Yeah.
And the Red Pass gave us a donation of $500, so net $7,000. So our bank balance is now down to, as of today, $20,950. So other than that big expenditure for the furnace, status quo.
Yep, good.
some money coming in for rentals, some money going out on refunds for rentals, so. Yeah,
Perfect.
holding steady.
Holding steady. Great. And Monica, what's the word for rentals?
We're booked every Saturday night, starting the middle of March until the middle of June.
Wow.
But they're starting to ask yes or no. We've had one cancel.
And so it's just the Saturday nights, nothing else? Oh, Mark, don't do that. I love how the camera goes to him. The smell alert came up. So just the Saturdays, Monica?
Yes.
Okay. And so what's the feeling on the St. Patrick's Day?
Like to have it if possible.
Yeah. Okay, so how do we, I mean, that's something we can discuss now. How do we propose to make that happen at this point? What's the date that we'd set? I can't even remember.
March the 12th.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take long to put it together. It's just a matter of knowing what our numbers, what we're allowed and what our numbers are.
Yeah, and I guess part of it is the state of the hall. Where are we at there?
As in the bathrooms,
Yeah,
they'll be ready.
they'll be ready. Okay.
Ron has the first batch primed. We put the stalls all in on Monday, I guess it was. I get the last couple pieces of pine to put in, and Ron's going to finish up the paint, and I'll go in and hook up the toilets, and we'll be good to go.
Perfect.
That's
Is
awesome.
there any need to put the doors on the bathroom? Does anybody ever shut the doors when they have individual stalls?
No.
No, that's what I thought. We'll just make the doors move out of the way.
Yeah.
We'll have to write a sign on the wall that says men's and ladies, because that's where the sign's on the doors, but I think we can handle that.
Yeah.
Amanda said she'll be making an announcement on or before March the 1st.
Okay.
Oh, and we have a boatload of garbage in the vestibule right now that Travis and I are going to stop and pick up tomorrow night with the trailer, I think. So.
Perfect.
I'm going to bring up just something I'm wondering about with these events, and Monica, it seems you're on board, but just in terms of staffing, volunteer staffing these things, who is like, honestly, I am not interested myself, just seeing how many people around me are still getting sick, and we've avoided it here, and I couldn't take I'm trying to avoid getting sick.
Yeah.
So, because we're so busy. So
Yeah.
that's one thing just I'm thinking mostly for the Green Beer Day, just to verify who feels comfortable.
Green Beer doesn't take a whole great pile of staff. There'll be a couple in the bar and somebody at the door, and one or two wandering around, I guess. So
Yeah.
if you had 4 or 5 people throughout the day, you'd be all right, probably.
Yeah, I guess we should nail down the specifics of the event if we are going to green light it.
What about masks? I mean, people standing around drinking beer aren't going to be wearing a mask.
Nope,
No.
they're not.
Definitely.
Nobody's invented the mask with the straw in it yet. I don't know why, but
I think there are.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Or intravenous. We could have a intravenous. What do you call it? Is that the word?
IV, yeah.
IV beer
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
We just hook them up right to their veins.
Well, you get one of those hats that you put a beer on either side, and then the pipe just comes in at the back of the
Yeah,
mask, and you can suck
exactly.
away all you want.
Yeah, we can handle this.
So do you guys want to pass a motion and maybe with a budget in mind?
Yes. Okay, so once again, I think we need to get wrap our head around what we want to handle. Like, are we going forward full tilt, assuming, basically like what we did 2 years ago? Are we going to reduce the scale of it just at precautionary? Obviously we're going to need, like you say, a budget for it. So that'll be based a lot on the numbers that we're sort of focusing on.
The last time we talked about it, it was mentioned about, but of course, things were different then. It was mentioned about ticket sales.
Right, not at the door. That's right.
Yeah, that's a little hard if you're not going to make a decision until after the 1st. It doesn't leave like 10 days to get tickets out and sold to people that are coming.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of technical work for somebody to have, texts or phone calls and emails and tickets purchased and stuff within that 10 days. That could be a challenge.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
If we knew now and you started selling them now, then, it gives you a bit more time to get them done, but I don't know.
Well,
Monica,
if it was
your
just on,
opinion of advanced tickets?
if it was on Ticketmaster or whatever, it would just, what we've done before may not be as much work if you wanted to go that direction.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking of the locals that are going to be going to this. Ticketmaster is not what they're looking for.
Right.
Monica, your opinion?
I don't want to sell tickets.
Okay.
Like 2 years ago when we had it, capacity limits were at 200 and we never went over 200. So.
But David, you're right. I mean, it's too late now to consider selling tickets. I mean,
Yeah.
already, I mean, yeah.
Monica, how long does it take to get pop?
To get what?
To get pop mix?
Pop?
Yeah, everything
Oh,
there
no,
is flat as flat. It's all flat. I brought a bottle home and tried it. There's no fizz in the glass at all. It's just flat. People aren't going to like that. They want a little fizz in their drink, I'm sure.
Well, I can take care of that.
Okay. I'm just thinking we need to get some ordered because it's got the flavor of ginger ale and Pepsi, but it doesn't have any of the fizz.
Yeah. So what it sounds like I'm hearing is that basically try to operate it as we did 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think waiting for Amanda to make her announcement on the 1st of March, we'll do an email conversation if we need to, but I don't see any problem if she comes along and says we can do full capacity or up to 200 or whatever. We just roll with what we can do.
Yeah.
And when it is green beer, people come and go anyways. So somebody that shows up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe gone by 7, and somebody else that shows up at 7 could still be there at 11, so.
Yeah.
What are the hours you're doing it, Monica? Same as last, 4 to 12?
I think so, yes. The girls got the poster all done, ready to go. They're just waiting for the word.
And you have the Bengorm
Yes,
slotted and you've got a DJ slotted.
yep.
Okay. So do you have a rough idea of what budget based on those two groups plus what we usually put out for beverages?
Bangor are 700 and the DJ will be about 5.
Okay. So 12 and
What about food?
yeah.
Food truck.
So do you have the food truck reserved as well?
No, I don't.
Okay. Are we thinking, do you have anyone in mind?
I
What
don't,
about
but I can look into it.
Okay.
I was just going to
Empanadas.
suggest
What
Big
about our empanadas? They can pay us back.
Yeah, exactly.
Big Mouth in Ottawa is good. Last time we had Blake. I'm not thinking that was the best idea in the world, but it was functional. Anybody got suggestions other than those two?
Peter Pit.
Baked and pickled.
I think I will try that big mug.
Yeah,
I think-
I'm thinking
Like
we're
we're-
looking for a food truck that's self-contained, that can
Yeah.
create its own food outside, not part of anything to do within the hall, doing anything in the kitchen or anything.
Yeah.
So that's where having a truck or trailer or whatever is what
Yeah.
we're looking for.
Agreed.
I think your only two local choices at the moment is Big Mouth and Vegan Co. for food trucks.
Sorry, what was the second one?
Vegan Co.
Big Mouth and who?
They're set up at
Collingwood Brewery.
yeah. So would they even be available?
I don't know,
Well,
because I don't know
Larry-
what the arrangement is.
Yeah.
Right. Larry and Lloyd's was Blake Wilson that we had last time, and his last I saw, his unit was sitting at home. But he can move it around at least. But yeah, I would try Big Mouth before I chased anywhere else, I think.
What was the name of the other one?
Kimberly said?
Vegan Co.
I still didn't get it.
Vegan
You're
Co.
not-
The vegan
you're
company.
not, yeah, you're not looking to get a local in there, I would imagine, but that could be just my opinion.
Yeah, no, and Big Mouth is quite familiar to, obviously, because the truck is on the road end in Ottawa. People see it all the time. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's I think that's obviously the starter. See if he's available, and then go from there. So who's gonna reach out to Big Mouth? Anyone?
I can do
Vol-
that.
Okay, perfect. So ideally with them, what's I can't remember what we did last time, but I think it's just we get their services and no
They
sort of
they were supposed to give us 10%.
10%. Okay. So no cost outlay on their part.
No.
Yeah. Do you have the numbers of what we spent, Mary, for booze for the last one?
No, because I never get my information back from the township.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can call Emmy and ask for that for the past, well, yeah, 2 years, because we didn't do it last year.
Do we like what quantity did we order? Monica, do you recall?
We ordered a bit more than we should have, and I ended up taking it and I'm emptying it in my garage that night, and went to take it back on the Tuesday, and they weren't going to be open long enough. And when I took it back on the Wednesday, they told me they couldn't take any returns back because of COVID. They had got the email that morning. They weren't allowed to take any returns back.
Oh.
And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And so the lady made a call to her rep, and she got back to him and said, yeah, that's okay, that because of what it is, take it back. So,
because otherwise you'd still be drinking it.
Well, I thought, well, if the liquor stores happen to close down, I have lots of booze to sell. So
yeah, that's right. Bootlegging Dave. All right.
I probably have a number somewhere.
Yeah.
So what? I'm just trying to get a sense. What do we have, like 40 cases, or like just to get a ballpark so we can toss a budget?
Yeah, 40 cases probably sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, so that's about 1,600.
The busy Buck and Doe usually gets 50, but we have longer drinking time.
Yeah. So, and then throw in whatever sort of what do you think? We're looking at, let's say a budget of $4,500.
Okay.
Does that sound right? Okay. So can I make a motion that we allot a budget of $4,500 to put towards the green beer event to be hosted at the hall March 12th, pending COVID restrictions?
Or do you want pending or in accordance with?
How about in accordance with?
Okay. It just changes it a little bit, because if you do pending, then you're kind of setting yourself up for.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
And anybody that's not comfortable volunteering, that is fine. We'll rally up some help somewhere.
Yeah. So maybe Monica just sent out an email once you sort of got a sense of the scheduling and the details, and then people can just reply, and it can be whatever, somewhat anonymous, or whatever, however people want to do it. But then people could just reply back to you if they want to, if they can put in certain hours of the day.
And Gord, you look after the SOP?
Yeah. Perfect.
So can we advertise yet, or do we wait?
Part of me says we wait a week. I get the sense, Monica, just because, you got a pretty good network of communication there. I think word would travel pretty fast. Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, there is so many people that are looking to go do something that it's not going to take much notice, and you're going to have lots of people.
Yeah. So rather than
the word's
put the
kind of a little bit out already.
Yeah. Yeah, so rather than flagging it, let's wait, hear what comes about, and then, at that point, I think the word will get around pretty fast, and
Yeah, 10 days isn't a lot to sell tickets, but 10 days is a lot to spread the word.
yeah.
The jungle drums will be working.
I have your motion. If you have a mover and seconder, do you want me to
Oh,
read it?
it's so cute. Who is that?
This is Dorothy May.
Oh, Dorothy. All right. What's the motion?
So be it resolved that the Duntroon Hall Board hereby approve hosting the Green Beer Day event on March 12th, 2022, in accordance with provincial and health unit guidelines and a budget of $4,500.
Perfect. Do I need to say that now?
No, just get me a mover and seconder.
Okay.
I'll move it. That sounds good.
I can
I can second
whatever.
it.
Excellent.
I think you're going to be really busy. If I get home in time, I'll come and help. I think it'll be a great night. Be
Yeah.
very busy.
I recall you helping a couple years ago, Doug.
Yeah. I think I drank
And-
more than I than I served. though.
I recall your car still in the parking lot in the morning.
Very responsible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There were a lot of cars in the parking lot the next morning, which was a good
You're
sign,
right.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Any more comments regarding that? I think also, Monica, if I can leave with you, you just make a list of to-dos. Just as far as, like I'll get the permit, but it's just as far as we get closer to the date for purchase orders and supplies and setup and stuff like that, that would just help.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go pick up the booze again in the trailer. That's no problem.
Thank you.
Perfect. Anything else on that topic?
No.
No. That's good.
One thing I wanted to say that I seen somebody was in and shoveled a little bit of a trail for water there, Gord. Was that you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessary, but just in case.
I know I toured in through there on, I don't know, Friday or something, and went Thursday when it was mild, and it looked okay. There didn't look like there was too much water, so I just left it alone. And then I went back in tonight just to make sure and saw tracks where somebody had shoveled a bit, but the water had got up at the door, created an ice, and then the water has left, so the ice is broke down. So that's a good sign that the water is getting away. So
yeah,
and I don't think we had enough freezing with that wind in the last 2 days to hurt the water course that's created underneath. So I think we're good.
Yeah. I just not really sure what was going to happen tonight. If we, it's supposed to get a lot warmer and continue to rain, so just precautionary.
Yeah. I think the water course underneath is there, and it'll be fine now.
Yeah. Yep. And on that note, we could move into facility review. So Joseph is going to come tomorrow to patch his holes and get that all cleaned up. Is there anything else I need to get him to address other than the rent?
There's 4 pieces of mail on the bulletin board for him.
That's right too. I saw that as well. Yeah. So he's there. I'm sure I'll remind him. Yeah, and I guess COVID and all the rest. He's had a bit of a rough go the last couple months. So his intention is still to pay. He's just not in the position to do so right now. So yeah, I mean, he's got contracts for the summer and stuff like that starting in April with a few different organizations. So the income will start coming in, and he will be putting aside money to forward to the hall. Other facility review, I don't think, I sort of had to wander around today. I don't think there's anything else really to update.
Gord, while you're talking about facility review there, did you get my, did that lady ever contact you regarding the dog park, getting access to it in the winter?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Okay.
one of the locals basically had sort of reached out to Doug regarding access to the dog park, just how, it's, you can't, like, just because the plow blows the snow up, and then so it's hard to get over the bank, and then the gates are hard to open and stuff. And so basically they're just wondering if this is something the township was going, or the hall was going to manage. And I sort of got back to her, sort of through Terry as well, that it's not a responsibility that we've really, the dog park wasn't really purposed as a winter site necessarily to be maintained, but if somebody wanted to take that on, we would gladly support them. And so it sounds like I can't remember her name, but dig it up. But it sounds like she, willing to take it on. I haven't really seen anything done yet, so I don't know what that means. But yeah.
The
All
snow
right.
is going to be really hard to shovel now.
Yep, it is. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the nicest thing, to get to it, you'll be able to walk on top of the snow. That's fine. It's just to get the gates open will be the hard part.
Yeah, and that's tough to do.
Yeah,
I know it's with our animals and everything. It's tough to get the big gates open in the winter. So, anyway. Okay, well that's good as long as somebody reached out to her there, because she just sort of commented on Facebook, and I just sent her a message saying, look, if you have a concern, either talk to Terry Vachon or Gord Kemp, and I gave them I gave her your email addresses, but Facebook is she never did get back to me at all. So, and Facebook is not the proper place to reach out to someone anyway. I think she was just sort of venting. So anyway, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah. All clear.
Good.
Is Roz on board?
No.
Roz
Not
Campbell?
showing up on the,
No? Okay. So new business, Roz had, I don't know if everybody read the email, but there was a proposition about a couple different organizations utilizing the hall. One was for, I think it was yoga classes upstairs. But given that she's not here to sort of clarify all the details, I'm not really not comfortable to go into the details. Just don't really know who the groups are and what all the specifics are. But basically, I'll reach out to her and get her to get those groups to maybe put together a proposal and a pitch, much like we did with Joseph, so that we have something concrete that we can look over and get a better sense of what the ventures are.
I know it's a community hall and stuff, that there's certain things that we can be a little more lenient on, but depending on what they're doing and when they're doing it, the cost to heat that hall to warm it up for an event is probably not extremely cheap. So depending on how they're doing and what they're doing, are we going to be spending more money than benefit to the locals?
No, and I mean, it does, there is precedence being set too, like promenaders have had to pay over the years, and so you got to be careful there with what we offer up. So But once again, we'll get the interested parties put together a proposal, and then we can make our decisions based on that. Because I don't know all the specifics and timings and details and how it would impact operations. All right. Any other new business?
Gord, I just wanted to throw in on that last point, just about Roz's proposal.
Yeah.
There was that antecedent with Robin, who did fitness classes at the hall.
Mm-hmm. Can you remind me? I remember Robin doing it, but I don't recall how it all worked.
I think it was just kind of a nominal fee, and then once it was kind of let her see how it went, and then as she did well, that she would compensate a bit more. But Jim's right here.
It was I forget what we paid to go. Like Martin and I, there's a bunch of us used to go, and let's say if we each paid $10, she was contributing, I forget, 4 or something like that to the hall. So it was based on, it floated with how many people showed up, so that she wasn't going in the red.
Yeah.
And the hall just benefited. But it was a good fit because the hall didn't have to be heated up. Because I think David's totally right.
Yeah.
It needs to be something that works well for the, but it was
hot yoga would not work.
It got people into the hall that had never been in there.
I hear.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Yeah, that's good to keep in mind.
Oh, that's not
those options.
Oh, Roz is joining us right now.
I should have mentioned this when we start the meeting, but I have to leave the meeting just in a few minutes. So.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Mary. I don't think we have to make any other decisions at this point. So yeah, whenever you have to sign off, good to see you and thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Roz, we were just talking about you.
I'm sorry.
So you don't have to be sorry. Just letting you know we were talking about you. So just based on your email, we're just discussing that maybe the suggestion that the different ventures that you're proposing, that maybe the groups put together proposals of what their intentions are, and it just gives us an opportunity to sort of review and make a decision based on that input.
The groups?
Well, you had mentioned a yoga group upstairs and then the coffee shop downstairs. Is that all one entity or?
No. I mean, I don't have anybody in mind. I was just thinking of like reaching out to finding, if there's like a student who wanted to,
Okay. So there's not one. It's not a specific. No, somebody has come to you. Okay. I thought.
Oh yeah. No, just the idea of, giving opportunity at the hall to people who might need a leg up and stuff. And that would benefit the hall as well.
Yeah.
So would you be okay if I kind of looked for someone who would be willing to just open, like just, no promises or anything, but just kind of
open the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, activity on the hall is always a benefit. I think just, as David mentioned, it can't be a cost to the hall. That's the most important thing. So like
exactly
whatever our heating operation expenses obviously has to be covered.
Okay.
And also, like Jim and Suzanne referenced Robin's yoga class where a portion of each participant went back to the hall. So at least the person who's operating isn't put out like just on a flat fee, that at least they're retaining something, but for compensating. So those sort of things work.
I hear that, but I think that's a little bit, pinching pennies. Like, I don't think, I think it would be nice to just offer it for free to them, and they could, because we get the opportunity to have somebody there, and obviously that was a long time ago. So I think, you know, I don't know that we need, you know, those few dollars. I think, you know, just having people there willing to teach a class would be, you know, risk-free for them, and we'd get so much out of it. So I don't know. I don't know if we need to nickel and dime it, really.
The problem, Roz, though, then somebody wants to rent the hall, or the promenaders was mentioned, and there's a bit of a balance there, right? If somebody gets it for free and can make money off it, then why for a buck and dough doesn't somebody get it for free to make some money?
Because the buck and dough isn't open for everybody, you know, like, is it?
Yeah,
It
It is?
Yeah.
But it's not a community event. Like, it's not to benefit the community, it's to benefit the buck
Right.
and dough, right? Like, this would be something that would be to give back to the community. Whereas a buck and dough is not to give back to the community.
Yeah,
The
like
promenaders is the same.
what comes to mind, like when I think of that, like the cafe idea is really neat. I wonder, like, if it was a daily thing during the week, if many people
Exactly.
go, but if it was, you know, one, like we talked about this kind of thing before, you know, one Wednesday a month that it's a spaghetti night kind of thing. That, like, I can imagine that flying more easily in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, or organize, set time, set date. It's
Well, those are
easier
kind
to
of two different
manage.
things. Well, like, to me, like, you know, we didn't have to manage Joseph, right? Like, he ran it himself. And what was that?
Sorry. No. Suzanne said into the ground, but
Oh.
ran himself into the ground. But yeah.
Joseph also paid, and it was, you know, he was making money off it, and it was for the good of the community. Anybody who wanted to go buy food, that was fine. The fact that, you know, as I'm considered part of the community, but the chances of me ever going and having a coffee there are very slim, or going to a yoga class is very slim.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the same as you may never attend a buck and dough that goes on, but I would, right? So
I would
having
attend
it free for
events,
one
but-
person and not the other, and having it as you're contributing more to one group than the next, and you know, that's where I think there's got to be a fee of some sort. I'm not saying it has to be a full cost rental, but it has to be something, I think.
I would attend a buck and dough for sure if it was advertised as this is for Duntroon and please come, and I've just never seen that, you know? Like, when we're talking about raising money for the hall in general, like, I think I've talked to other people about it before, and they just say, like, why would I give money to the hall? Like, what does it do for the community? And, you know, they'd rather give their money to, it doesn't seem like a charitable thing. It just seems like a business. So I guess that's just where I'm, you know, I think we kind of have to, I feel like it's a little bit imbalanced right now. And, you know, that's partly because of COVID too. But I just think it would create more goodwill amongst the community if we offered more regular, you know, and at no cost or low cost.
I look at it as a community service. We're maintaining a hall that they can rent to have their buck and doughs, to have their Christmas dinners, birthday parties, everything else. So if we can't run it as a little bit of a business that makes money to make itself sustain itself, we're talking about doing a major renovation, which is going to be huge in dollars. And I know the township's covering a lot of that, but it's still the fact that we still have to contribute to that. So we can't just say, oh, you can have it for free because you need a leg up to make money. And where that person, how does that person get chosen over the next person? That's where I see it as, it's as Jim says, it's got to be kind of a balance, because the promenaders have paid for years, and you know, they've done the same thing, but they paid for us to heat the hall up for them to use it. So it's the same thing. If anybody's using it in the wintertime, huh?
Yeah. You mean the promenaders? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they paid for us to heat it for the day that they used it,
Yeah.
right? And that's
But there
basically
should be
what
more-
it boils
yeah.
down to.
I think they should use it for free, perhaps. Like, I honestly, you know, if there was other people who wanted to run classes there, and, you know, I feel like there's nothing, I don't really see what the hall does for the community.
But then,
You know,
Roz,
like, are all the buck and does for people in Duntroon?
but Roz, I guess it depends, like when, you know, how much do you ask of the volunteers? Like I don't particularly want to be volunteering my time to pay for the promenaders to have the place for free. Like, you know what I mean? Like there is a balance. Like I'm all for volunteering time to support the hall itself, but not a special interest group or something. Like if somebody wanted to come in and do the coffee shop and all the proceeds go to the hall,
Mhm.
I'm all for it. Like, I think that's because that's what we all do, right?
I know, but see, I feel the opposite. Like, I don't want to donate my time, and granted, I don't do nearly as much as any of you, but I feel like I'm donating my time to a rental hall.
No, but not if the event, like when we've had, you know, the 50th anniversary of the hall or anything like that, like it is a community service, like.
But there's no
in the
regular
spe-
thing.
What's that?
There's no regular thing.
No.
There's no,
No,
that's
and-
what I feel like we need to do.
Well, and it could be, that's where I think, like, and we talked about it before, and I think that would be better. And you see the churches do it, right? Where they have whether it's a once a month dinner or something like that, or whether it's, you know, a coffee time or something like an evening. Like there was ideas of the card or the games nights, things like that. Like for sure, I
That
think
we have to do.
the spirit of getting the community together is awesome.
Yeah.
But it's a balance of how to do that and not jilt other people.
To be fair.
You know, it's got to be fair. Like
Yeah,
that somebody is
absolutely.
making money because on something on the use of the hall without paying rent
Right.
will actually turn other people off of renting the hall. I think that's what we have to be careful about it.
Yeah, well,
that
I
there's no-
agree. Like, I think we should find a balance for that, but I just think we should try and be finding those things that, that open it up to the community.
But that's where back to the Robin thing, that was, you know, it was a drop in the bucket, but you know, like sometimes there's only 4 people show up.
I know,
right.
So the hall got $20.
But it
or
worked out,
something.
it worked out for everybody because everybody was who wanted to go was able to partake.
Yeah.
And Robin also felt good because she was contributing back to the hall, which was actually important
Right.
to her.
So why did we stop doing that then?
Well, she got busy with other things. She couldn't keep doing
Right.
it.
But the spirit, like, I think the spirit of that works. So if somebody wanted to do a coffee shop and they, as we just talked about with the food truck for the Green Beer Day, you know, and they donate a percentage back or something, that's what I think, to Gord's point, having a proposal
Yeah.
put forth where somebody's saying, oh, like, I'd like to have, you know, whatever it is, 1 day a week or 3 days a week or something, have muffins and coffee, or here's a scheme. And, you know, then I think it's fair. Like you definitely have to, like, people do fundraisers there, not for their own profit, but to support other things. You know, and we've had them before come to us. So let's say there's somebody, you know, that some kid has some medical condition and friends put on a fundraiser,
Right,
and they'll
yeah.
ask us, will you donate the hall? And if
Yes.
usually
I remember.
we don't, you know,
Yeah.
like, because of that thing of being balanced again, I think that it's, and maybe the hall will donate, maybe the hall board decides to donate money to the cause,
Right.
but there's still rent. And that's
Yeah.
how we've done it in the past, just to make sure that we don't, upset anybody that's saying, well, why didn't they treat us that way?
Right.
Yeah, so it's tricky, I think.
No, I get it. I would just like there to be more.
Yeah.
And to make it as easy, like without, people having to risk much, like, because obviously people aren't beating down the door saying, let me do something here for the community. I'm just trying to make it as easy as, thinking of things that as easy as possible to create more stuff. Like I talked to Sarah Hirschoff once about like how to get the township to provide programming there. And they did it once years ago with the art thing in the summer. And Sarah said, they're not going to do it. So like, it's just too, I can't remember why exactly, but I was just trying to think of other ways to get something going on there. Like during the day that wouldn't impact any rentals, right? Stuff that would, because we don't, I don't know how many of us are going to the church, and obviously we don't have the school anymore, but just like, this is like the center of Duntroon, or could be. And just to kind of help that grow.
Yeah, that would be really nice to bring the community in. It's the trick of time, like what timing works for people.
And what is success? And what is successful? Like what has a successful track record? I mean, you look at Sunnydale and they do their euchre nights, and I think that has been incredibly successful for them.
Yeah.
And I think we have to start looking maybe at that. Hall is open for euchre night tonight. And those sort of options. The bowling, used to have a good solid bowling. So it's utilizing the space that way.
Yeah, if we have the ping pong tables there, we could leave them up, and the bowling alley, like it's, there's
Hall, like the little Paris Hall there in front of the daycare. They ran euchre in there for years, and I don't know if they still are after COVID gets done with or not. But I go to the one in Badger's Community Center. Everybody pays $2. At the end of the year, they claim they have enough to buy 1 tank of oil from us using it every once a week.
Yeah.
And that pretty much, we're adding enough money to it for them to buy the tank of oil, which we probably burn pretty much that whole tank, warming the place up for every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, now
it's being used.
Yeah, I think of other, like in the Anglican church there, they have I think spaghetti night, or there's a pancake night, like a couple things through the year that are really well attended. And
those are run by the volunteers though, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of things that aren't run by us, so we don't have to do it. We can just attend if we want to.
Yeah. Well, and that's where if somebody wanted to do something and then it was benefited the hall to, like, it's just, I think it's like the Robin scenario where it needs to be a balance between contributing to the hall financially and
not losing
them. Not lose. Yeah. Just so that nobody else, that it doesn't backfire.
Right.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I completely support the concepts and the ideas. It's just a matter of having the someone who's got the commitment and the proposal and basically the idea, and then we can go from there.
Yeah. I agree.
As Lloyd has commented a couple times to me when we were discussing stuff there, he says, what's your business plan? Where do you want to see this hall go? What's your plan? Do we have a business plan to do it? And that was one question I couldn't even answer him. I don't know if we actually have a business plan. The option is that we stay open for rental for as many people as we can, and that's the purpose of the hall, is to be a
gathering space.
A venue for people to rent for Christmas and birthdays and and stuff like that. So
a very affordable place. Because if you look around the township, or you look around the county, renting a space is pretty expensive these days, and we're basically basement prices. So that's part of our service as well.
Yeah. Non-profit.
Yeah.
Definitely non-profit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, and kudos to you, Roz. The dog park has, has definitely been a hit. I think, I've seen tons of traffic. People, love it. It brings people out into that, the park zone and familiarizes them a little more in the community. So yeah, that's those sort of things are, and that's something that volunteers just basically donated to the community and has been quite effective. So yeah, I think more like that is definitely welcomed.
And it's a great idea, again, Roz, trying to,
We just need to find somebody.
yeah, get that community spirit improved. Well, not improved, but, more,
Revitalized.
yeah,
A vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a vehicle, as Jim says, yeah.
Just be gone with this damn COVID.
Yeah.
All right. Any other points on that note? Yeah, I think it's something to think about and evolve. I think there's opportunities there, and yeah, just let's let plant the seed and hopefully it'll grow. I don't think there's anything else I have to address. Does anyone else have any points of interest? Nope. Okay, so that means we're on to our next meeting, which I guess is going to be after Green Beer Day. Do we go to the 15th or do we want to go full month to the 22nd?
You might as well go to the 22nd and it's off the March break then. If
Oh,
anybody's
yeah,
away or doing anything.
Yeah, you're right. March break. Okay, so we'll book that March 22nd, next meeting, 7 p.m.
Can we have them in person by then, or are we still going to be Zooming?
Well, we might. But that's, yeah, we'll Kayla can propose that and then we'll see what the township, where they get. I got the sense that they weren't opening anything up for that, but
I heard the township offices on the news today that some municipalities were opening the township buildings and stuff.
okay.
So I don't know if Clearview's joined onto that bandwagon yet or not, but
Yeah, I don't have anything to report on that. Nothing's come my way. As far as I know, we're still just meeting virtually for the time being, but I would think it'll soon be opening up. So
Yeah, well,
Can I throw something in there, Gord?
throw it in.
I wanted to just say, maybe Kayla has something to say, and Kayla, I had an idea. Well, first of all, very cute puppy, and congratulations. And the other thing was, it just popped into my mind, would you have any connections, or Amanda, to Roz's point, like that idea, of connecting Clearview fitness people with, the fact that there's a hall available and there could be some proposals put forward by people who might be interested.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest reaching out to Amanda. She does a lot of the Ontario tourism stuff as well. And
Okay.
with the activity guides, she'll have a lot of connection to people who run those sort of, I don't want to say one-off because there are fitness classes, but then there's also people who might do, an art night or other experiences like that as well, that I think might fit into Roz's idea.
Yeah.
Maybe not even a night, could be, a knit and chat club. I mean, that's a little bit more for the older population, or me,
Working on doggy
crochet.
It's coming back.
Something of that nature. So I would definitely suggest Amanda. And last I heard, council had passed a resolution to continue the virtual meetings into May, with an opportunity to revisit it as the province and health units reopen. They usually get their direction from the health unit. So.
Right. Thanks.
Okay. Great.
Thank you. All right, I'm about to adjourn unless someone wants to interject.
quick thank you to Doug for staying up this late.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug, well done.
Are you in Scotland?
I'm on
Doug?
my second wind here. I'm good. I'm in good shape. Yeah.
Okay, be it resolved, the Duntroon Hall Board meeting hereby be adjourned at 8:22 Duntroon time. What is it? What, 12 or 1:22 Scotland time?
122.
1:22 Scotland time.
Oh,
It's
it's
normal
late
bedtime,
already.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
So who's gonna move and second it?
I will.